So,
Sup?
looks like chat doesn't want you guys to have limit breakers.
That's not what I saw.
It was
Looks like a yes to me.
It was
That's
a 15. It was a 15 to 4 vote.
Resounding yes.
That's not correct on what I see. I see a 9 to 5.
Whoa. Working 9 to 5. What's up, guys? So,
What are we RPing about? Because I have no clue.
I'll go full. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
A hot ball. Read my posting.
Okay. We're headed to Kurzweil? Question mark?
No. Sun's Rest.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sun's
Sun's Rest. Oh, we're going back to Sun's Rest because
Because we're getting the liquid, and that's where Kroll is meeting us.
Kroll's meeting us at Sunrise.
Kroll,
Okay.
well, he's not there yet. He's coming behind us after we get arrangements set that this person is coming. We have to talk to the leadership there. Which means
okay.
Aslan.
So we make our way to find Aslan.
Nothing shady happened while you were there last. There's no reason for them to be mad about you for anything whatsoever. So when you show up, Aslan is, of course, welcoming of you being there.
Absolutely nothing shady happened.
Why, Irina? What happened?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. What are you talking about? Anyway, let's keep going.
No, they're already aware of the situation that happened when we were there.
Yep.
Part of it.
And obviously,
yeah.
Leon is not a big fan of you guys and whatnot, but I was having a conversation.
Yeah, we actually we talked to Leon before we went to Kroll.
Well, not a big fan of you, but either way, you make your way back. Aslan is, of course, welcomes you in because you're in his arrangement is part of the reason why Aslan even stays in the city. It's part of the reasons why he has a relationship with Valorant and all that fun stuff. But in the meanwhile, so you come waltzing back in, and Aslan, of course, welcomes you and says things are a little bit complicated at the moment. Things are a little bit difficult, but that being said, we do still have places for you to rest your head, even if they're going to be a bit less luxurious than you're accustomed to, if you don't mind. Part of the university was unfortunately destroyed, or I should say altered, during the attack of those creatures. So some of the rooms are less...
Attack of what creatures?
The Mouthers.
We were just here before that happened, before we went to see Kroll.
Yes, but you weren't staying in the university at the time. You had left. I'm telling you that's the reason why you won't be in as nice of, as comfortable of rooms as you were before is because some of the university is under construction. Indefinitely. While we were trying to figure out the resources and whatnot to be able to repair it. In the meanwhile, you are welcome to stay inside rooms. It's just the three of you would have to share with one other. But you are welcome to have a room.
Who would we be sharing with?
Myself, unfortunately.
Oh.
Desperate times and all that. Leon has said that while things are difficult, luxuries are not to be squandered on the few. We should utilize everything as efficiently as possible until we get our feet back beneath us. So if that means sharing rooms, cutting down on, rationing out food and supplies and whatnot, then that's what we must do until we are, again, able to get our feet beneath us. In the meanwhile.
Well, I would hate to impose upon you. I'm sure Rena and Yondis would be fine with camping outside if that is necessary.
He shakes his head and says, while I understand that humans and hobgoblins and many other species that exist snore in their sleep. I believe that's not true for the Perrin. So I'm sure they wouldn't be too disruptive in the night.
Well, you know me, I would be out of the way.
Nods. Well, I'm sure you're back for your research. I'm not sure how you intend to get us down there, and I know that some don't want you to, but you of course know my opinion on the matter.
There is a bit of another thing. We may be having a guest coming from... What's the name of the place we just came from? Dradstone.
You say maybe having a guest. Is this a maybe or a definitively?
They're coming.
Ah. Who are they?
Their name is Kroll.
Kroll. I know of this Kroll. He's a recently adopted leader in Dradstone, from what I understand. Why would Kroll be coming here?
Ophius would start speaking in Sloko.
Okay.
And he would say he has the ability to assist me on a matter of importance against the Lopers.
In that case, they're of course welcome. Though again, your research is not exactly approved by all that have say in this city that you're in, and certainly the arrival of a diplomat, or at least a important leader from another town or township or what have you, whatever they're called, wouldn't necessarily be welcome without previous announcement. I bring this up for a reason.
We
I'm
are
willing
the
to do
ones
this for you.
announcing this.
I'm telling you to the others. Again, desperate times, lockdowns and the like for the sake of safety, security. I'm not sure how much Leon or the others would appreciate trouncing about in matters that they don't deem important. So I ask that yourselves, Kroll, keep things a little bit quiet. You have, of course, my approval to be here, but I don't exactly have the heaviest say in the matter.
Well, I wanted to ask your insight into our announcing of this person arriving. What was the cover we had come up with, Rena and Messi?
For like why Kroll's gonna be here?
Yeah.
I don't know if we said. Did
We
we?
did.
I thought Kroll said.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Must have said it at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, it was just Kroll's coming to investigate the plane's opening in Kurzfall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right,
Just
right,
on
right.
the way.
Okay. So Ophios would say, Kroll is. How would be the best way to go about gathering the leaders here with regard to announcing Kroll's visiting here in a few short days with regard to the investigation of the instability of the planes? And maybe perhaps to apologize for the Mouthers, but that's not for me to say.
That might be something that what was out of game. I'm trying to remember. Elliot would be interested in, but I don't think that's something that Leon would be too interested in. If that is the reasoning for why you believe he should be here, that is something I would suggest you are heading further east and into Kurzfall. They would have interest in that, but Leon does not. So I don't think it would work out well. I think perhaps just trying to stay quiet might work better than to come up with this excuse.
You're saying to not announce it and just keep it hidden.
Unfortunately, yes. I think deception in this matter would behoove us.
Ophios would then speak plainly to Rena and Yondis about this matter and reiterate that perhaps the best idea in this situation is to sneak Kroll into the city and do our investigations quietly and hidden.
You don't necessarily need to sneak beyond keeping things discreet.
Well, I imagine if they find out Kroll from the town in which the Mouthers were directed here from is suddenly in town without their knowledge.
Sure. But we're also not investigating every individual person walking in and out of town. So I would just say be discreet. Don't go all cloak and dagger. It might draw attention for those that are looking for those kinds of things in our weakened state.
Has there been any headway in clearing the path down, or are we going to have to use the potion, which Yondis luckily still has?
Unfortunately, there's zero approval to do any work as what that you're suggesting.
And has Jocelyn arrived?
Jocelyn has been assigned to handle a task east of Kurzfall. She's, as far as I understand from the last word that we had sent to us, she was assigned to building or working on a farm or the like.
And of our equipment that Jocelyn had?
I do not know to that end. You would probably have to send a message to her and request it being delivered back here, but having things delivered over that vast different distance, well, things are rather dangerous right now.
It's fine. It's totally fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, if either of you two want to speak, go right ahead.
It would seem we just need a way to get back out.
Well, we don't have the cape, so we need to get another thing of that potion, I would presume. Or we have the way in which we left last time. Snaga depending.
Joey perks up.
But as I recall, you guys did not exactly enjoy that experience.
I wouldn't have enjoyed being stuck down there forever either, so it's an option.
Oh, Josh is back now.
He's like, I'm listening.
I was trying to talk to him earlier, but he didn't listen to me. He disappeared.
Perhaps then our cover story is that we're merely passing through to Cursefall if we are questioned of Kroll's appearance. I think it may be important to meet Kroll outside of the city then, wouldn't you think, Yondis?
I think the stealthiest approach would just be to treat Kroll as if he's always belonged. But it sounds like we wouldn't have a place for him to stay, right?
I'm sure he'd be happy down below. That was, of course, he would then just like nod to you, like iterating the idea that, you know, the Emperor would be very comfortable down there.
Maybe, but I don't know about a physical form. From what I remember, it
did have living quarters.
Right, but isn't it covered in dust and debris? And is there food? Like even if he takes food himself, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be too bad, but we were only down there for not super long.
Perhaps we should send word to try and get Rena's cape and my bag back for options.
We could send a bird.
I think that would be wise. Is there another way, Aslan, for us to contact Kurzfall? Quickly. Obviously, I know the teleporter is broken.
It would have to be through perhaps avian communication.
So,
Probably be the
bird.
best.
I'll like blow the whistle and then call like a bird down. Or write a message to her or something.
Okay. No problem.
Just like, hey, Jesselyn, hoping to get my cape
Hoping to
and
get our stuff
Ophios's
back.
Bitch better have my
Um,
money.
bag back.
How far out is the town that they're at?
A good distance away.
Days.
Yeah, how many days?
Several each way. Don't remember off the top of my head, but let's just assume 4 or 5 each way.
Walking, but a bird should be able to get there within a day and a half.
Yep.
What about us with a horse?
Again, that's kind of factored in.
Oh, we have other things to do for now.
We do need to prep for their arrival, which would mean going down there. But I think finding means and getting access to more of these potions, Aslan, if possible.
Unfortunately, things like that were produced in Kurzfall. It's where most of the magical ability would be, or even perhaps could be purchased through Leshev or something of the like, but again, we're kind of severed from those. Even the university could, in theory, have made them, but with it being in the state that it is, we're not really making anything right now.
Without Jocelyn, whatever the name is, I wouldn't feel comfortable trying to dig a way back in.
Yes, I understand, of course. And I'm sorry that I cannot provide you with a little bit more. I truly wish I could. But unfortunately, I cannot.
Back in Sloko, he's going to ask, any new development on the clutches you were planning on bringing this way?
I actually have received word of this.
Yes, I've actually received words about this one. It seems there are others that are looking for a place to expand, to have a clutch beginnings. Theirs will be a fuse findings the appropriate spots along the walls of this valley. In these walls, we will begin to procreate.
Warn them of giants
Gross.
and wyverns.
Of course.
That is good news. Perhaps if they had arrived earlier, they could have been of assistance in this matter. But for now, as we have decided, they will remain hidden.
Nods.
Do you know of which particular kin they are? More of you, more of me? or
Shakes his
more
head.
of more of the
Other.
the less than useful.
The other.
Nope. Shakes his head.
Kinds.
Unfortunately, darling, unfortunately. Shakes his head.
I assume we're meeting with him in his like office area. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it the same room that he resides in, or is it a different room?
Different room.
Yeah, it's living quarters, or probably down the hall.
I don't know what time of day it is, or if we had just gotten into town, it's probably like
We're pretty tired.
tired.
Sure.
Plus, there's some things I want to check. Like, if I got 2 different messages, one being from Nightingale, the other Elijah, if he sent anything.
I think the way it works is you would know immediately when he sends something.
Would I?
Stone, yeah. But not the bird.
But if I don't have it immediately on me, like immediately handy, you know what I'm saying? Like if I could keeping it in my bag or something, or do I just know? It's just to my brain, like, hey.
I actually don't know.
What is the item you're referring to?
The sending stones.
Oh, yeah, if it's on you.
I would just know if it was on me.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I didn't think. I thought that I had to like check it.
No.
I think I found. Okay. Well, then, any news from Nightingale?
So when you say any news from Nightingale, it's not one of those things where, Aslan doesn't have a message for you, but you will eventually
from
find
him,
one. Yeah,
no.
yeah. So eventually, like while you're inside the university and you go to that balcony area that overlooks the valley and all the
Mhm.
mountains around, eventually while over there, you'll actually have a bird will be sitting there. It's one of those things where you can see there's a bird that's uncharacteristic for the region will be sitting there. And we'll actually, at one point in time, you're kind of sitting there, you look over at it and kind of give that like cockeyed look like, it's not one that you would typically see around here. That's strange. And it kind of like hops over to you. And you can see that it has tied to its leg a little message.
I'll take the little message off.
And when you take the little message off, the bird, whose lifespan was magically extended by the spell,
Oh no! Why?
just kind of goes, gets all rigor mortis and like
Oh,
falls
God.
off the balcony.
Oh no! Why?
Because I am a
She's
fucked up
horrified.
person, Rena.
She looks horrified. Just, oh my God.
Rena's like, why do you ruin everything in my
Holding
life?
this like note or whatever. Looks down.
Think of it more like a zombie servant that you just allowed to be put out of its misery.
That's
And don't think about it too much hard.
I'm reading the message.
So, my apologies. Please remind me what you asked of Nightingale.
To meet.
If it's at all possible to meet.
If it was just simply to meet, she would say that she can be there by month's end.
That's
So
wild.
more or less from when you are, about a week from now.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
We gotta wait for Kroll to get here anyway, so works.
Kroll shows up like 2 days later.
Perfect.
Yep. So you'll see her after you're done with Kroll.
So we're just needing to do things in the interim.
So 2 days, we can just flash forward, bloop, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Bloop. Kroll's going to arrive. And again, just going to be discreet. Kroll just throws a hood over their head. They're not exactly a flashy person. Yes, Tyler.
I was gonna say, did we want to meet them outside, like so that they know that they're not being announced and they will not be meeting with leadership?
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely meet them outside. Meet him outside. Meet him outside. Meet him out. Meet him out. Meet him outside.
Is that a real song or are you just making noise?
I feel like Rena would draw more
It is.
attention. I would draw attention. I
Meet
think
me
Giannis
outside.
would be the most discreet that people wouldn't
Hamilton.
pay that much attention to.
Gotcha.
So if you're cool with that, Giannis would be the one to meet outside instead of all of
okay.
us.
That's fine.
So you go out there, you meet with Kroll. Kroll just kind of gives you that nod. You're like, yeah, we're going to play things a little on the DL. Gives you a nod, and he walks with you. And you hear, even from within Kroll, even if Kroll is still just kind of walking with you, I don't think this is appropriate. We should be announced. And you hear Kroll just say, shut up.
I'll let him handle it. I'm not going to chime in on that.
Yep. And
It's like a husband and wife situation. I don't want to pick a side here.
so, congratulations, you've been volunteered. So, and yes, you do. You always take cryptic side.
Well, that's different.
Every time.
That's so different.
Every time.
Rena keeps shooting me in the back, and Cryptic revives me when I go down.
Yeah, he does. You know what I'm saying?
We don't have to continue our.
Anytime you go down, he
Dark Souls or anything, you know, like we don't have to keep doing that. That's fine.
So, anyways, but continuing on. So, you easily able to make it into the university, and Kroll kind of looks to the three of you and says, What's the plan?
I know exactly where it is.
We're aware of that, but they also said that there was structural stuff. Looks back at
There
the
was
three of you and
structural
says,
stuff, yeah.
so what's the plan?
Well, do you think the Emperor knows a secret way in?
There is one way in, to walk in physically. And then there was Snaga.
This was a known issue? What?
So our
Yeah,
choices.
this was the. We only have one way in, and as of now, the only way out would be Snaga.
So our only choice is to use the statue to go in and out.
Unless we have received our stuff by the time they arrive, but I imagine not.
Your message hasn't even gotten there yet.
Day and a half?
Okay, maybe it got there. Maybe it got to Kurzfall, but then they have to interpret it, and then they have to send somebody to travel a day over to Jesslyn. Then she has to give over the stuff, and it travels a day back to Kurzfall, and then it starts
didn't
its trek.
just keep wandering with our stuff to.
She's wandering. She's with Myson.
Question: what kind of assistance are you needing for this, Ophios? Surely you don't need myself there.
You'll need all the help you can get.
Yes, we will need everybody. Did you get the ingredients, by the way?
Everything's been taken care of.
And refined the recipe?
Mostly everything's been taken care of.
Sounds promising.
You can't know the outcome without testing it first. Luckily, we have one test we can do. Well, one try.
Referring to me. Yeah.
Not really a test, is it? Kind of a live version.
Well, here's the good news. And I imagine the Emperor would be able to respond to this. We don't need to use this facility. We just need the liquid from this facility, if I'm not mistaken.
That may be true, but we also have to have the appropriate materials. Do you know of any other alchemist labs with all the other equipment and the like around?
I was going to ask you if there was another location.
Rena, you know, because you're Tasian, that Tasiandale has alchemical schools and whatnot. Messi, your parent, you know that they're in Paradel, has their own schools and alchemist labs and whatnot that happen to exist down there. But in Adir itself, an alchemist lab? Is there one in Drazstone? I think there might be an alchemist lab in Drazstone. That's a hard maybe. It's like a
She'll
rock
she'll
solid
turn to
maybe.
Ophios and say, we've got everything you need. Why the hesitation?
Well, as of right now, I'm more concerned about the way out. I'm not hesitating about this. It's a matter of what makes the most sense, considering we're not exactly on the best terms with those here.
The way out of below?
Yes.
The statue, right? And she'll
That is
ask the
only
Emperor,
way.
are you capable of activating the statue yourself?
You think I worship that thing?
Take that as a no.
And there is an alchemist lab in Drazstone, which is where you guys came from.
Of course.
The other option is to recruit Aslan.
Aslan
himself.
could be of massive assistance on this. But I imagine Aslan would not want to be involved because that would make it more conspicuous. Well, then I have one question. Kroll Emperor, with this potion, would you be able to replicate and recreate it down below?
What do you mean?
We have one way in, and it's one use. The only other way out would be Snaga, and obviously that is not a way in which you can depart.
What potion do you have?
Gaseous form.
Gaseous form is a spell that generally only affects one person. How is it that you're affecting multiple?
As long as they're touching, I believe. From what I was told by
Yeah.
Jocelyn.
That's how it worked.
Strange. It really affected multiple people.
Sure did.
How many was it able to affect?
4,
Three?
3.
What's the
Three
three of
at a
us?
time.
Well, then less than likely that it's simply gaseous form. It's more likely that it's a vaporizer that allowed it to happen. A vaporizer is something that can, how do I say this? A vaporizer allows it to be inhaled by multiple people instead of just one person drinking it. There's like a pause where you imagine maybe, and then he responds in a way that suggests that maybe he's speaking to the Emperor, responding to the Emperor, not to you, and he says, I do listen when you speak. I have nothing else to do. I'm stuck with you either way. You know that Kroll is not a alchemist. The Emperor is.
Yeah.
Something you can recreate, or
Well, the problem is when you use the vaporizer, you lose the vaporizer. So we would have to have another vaporizer. Whether or not the potion could be recreated wouldn't matter if we don't have the vaporizer. Funny enough, I happen to have a unique ring that I wear on my hands. It's called a ring of spell storing. It allows a certain spell to be cast into it that can then be later on cast. The spell I have on hands is actually gaseous form because of what you described the situation being of getting in and getting out. I thought it wise to have that put in there.
So you would be able to get in and get out just fine.
We'd be able to get at least one way. I'd be able to travel through, or more importantly in this scenario, having the spell on hand would make creating a new potion an option. We couldn't do it if we didn't have the spell on hand. We do because of the ring and what's prepared inside of it. But we do need another vaporizer to make that happen. Where did you get the first one from?
A friend.
Well, perhaps we can just ask that friend for another one.
The friend is unavailable, and I asked that already.
Damn.
As long as you were able to get in and get back out, we have our own way.
Then I think we have, we're planning on a one-way trip in hopes of squeezing out a second.
it's that, or we wait for Jesselyn's return.
I can't
Which could be-
spend time here waiting.
That's what I figured.
The fact that we're standing and not already doing the job.
Well, let's get on with it then.
Allow me to quickly inform Aslan that if our gear are to arrive and if we are not returned, that he should use the gear to come down and bring it to us.
Or you can write him in your will.
Are you
You
afraid,
keep it.
Yondis?
No. Are you?
Not one bit.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
You've been around him enough. You can tell there's a lie in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like, if you rolled an insight with advantage, you'd probably pick up on it.
You know what? Why not? That's fun.
You can. I'm not rolling a deception, but you can tell there's something off about how he said it. He's gonna just quickly write a note and run and put it on Aslan's desk, and meet up with you guys at the entrance, in which we will drink the potion and head in.
Okay.
So the note just reads that should our stuff arrive and we have not returned, if you could spare somebody to use the cape to go down below.
I run to the kitchen and then just like push all this food into the hole. So we have rations.
Wait, push food into the hole? What?
Yeah, the hole that we have.
We have the animal jerky that's in there, Rena.
Well, you know, you could use
Well,
the
not just
portable.
that, though.
You could use the portable hole as a means of transportation.
I'm not doing
that
that
works
again.
so well.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
No, don't. Well, suffocated last time.
How much time do you have in the portable hole before you suffocate?
I think it's an hour.
No, it
is
was like a few
10
minutes.
It's
10 minutes?
defined, isn't it?
Yeah, portable hole.
I think it's like
If
10
you
minutes.
pull it up, I think it's 10 minutes. But if it's more than one person, it reduces.
I'm trying to read it right now. Hold on 1 second. I don't think it says it in 5e. I think it said it in Pathfinder. Pathfinder always has more details.
$10 minutes. Yep.
10
A
minutes.
breathing creature within a closed portable hole can survive for up to 10 minutes, after which time it begins to suffocate.
So 2 people for 5 minutes.
3 people for 3 1/3.
And you know it takes a few minutes to get down there when you're in gaseous form, because who went with what's his name before, or what's her name before?
I did.
So you know
Jocelyn.
it takes a few minutes to get down there. It takes
Yeah.
how long is it? Upwards 5 minutes to get down there. I think it was.
I think that's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about 5 minutes to get down there. So if you think about it, let's say there were 3 people going for 3 minutes and 20 seconds each, right? Is that how that math
Yeah,
works out?
3 minutes and 20 seconds.
That means you'd have to be able to survive a minute and 40 seconds, assuming a 5-minute trip and not faster or slower. I believe in 5e, you can last a number of rounds equal to your constitution score. So 5e holding breath. 5e suffocating. The creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes. What? This is such bullshit.
Equal to the Constitution? No way. You're serious?
This is so stupid. You can hold your breath for a number of minutes. It's like jumping. Like in real life, like Olympic swimming athletes can't hold their breath for 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Because if that's what it's
Well, if
saying,
it's a
then I
number
can
of
hold my
minutes
breath
equal
for
to your
9 minutes.
constitution, the constitution modifier, mine would be 2.
You know, like
Or 4.
9
Oh, is that the
minutes.
modifier? Sorry, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. 4. It would be 4
no,
minutes.
it's minutes. Ashen, it used to be rounds in Pathfinder, but 5e says, you're Kal-El mixed with Jesus.
Thanks.
You can have a little Kobe Bryant in there too.
Oh,
Have
thank
fun.
you. That's so kind. Thank you.
It's the
5e.
modifier, though, not the constitution score, right?
It's actually 1 minute plus 1 minute per con mod.
So 1 minute automatically.
So I would have 3 minutes. Rena would have 5, and
minutes?
you would have 2.
I actually don't know what my con is. Let me look.
I think you have.
Wait, is that how that
I'd
works?
have, yeah,
1
I'd have-
minute plus what?
Oh, I'd have 3 minutes.
Plus 1 minute per con mod.
Okay.
What's your con mod, Arena?
4.
5
So
minutes.
she'd have
It's
5 minutes. I would have
You would take 0 of the air.
3, and Giannis
I
would
just
have
hold
3.
my breath the entire time.
It doesn't matter, Joe, if everybody has 18 con. If you had a 13 con, which is normal, a 13 con, you could still hold your breath for 2 minutes.
It's a long
For
time.
2 minutes.
That's pretty normal, isn't it?
I
No.
want you to
2
hold your
whole
breath
minutes?
right now for
Not a
2
normal
minutes.
It's a long
I mean,
time.
if I was
1 minute,
preparing
the
for it,
average
I
human
probably
is
could.
less than a minute.
Yeah.
I have definitely held my breath for over a minute before, just as Tyler has before, because we had to train
Yeah.
breath. We had to train breath. Like when you're swimming underwater for big distances, you out of water had to train holding your breath, and in water we have pressure on you, had to train holding your breath, and then that way you were a little bit better prepared. That when you swam while holding your breath, it was better.
Which if you're swimming, you're using the oxygen, therefore you can't hold your breath as long.
I don't know my time by any stretch of the imagination.
I can do
So-
a full. I used to be able to do a full 50 meters underwater. 50
Oh.
meters, not yards. 50 meters.
No, I got you. It's barely a difference between meters and yards. You're talking adding like a couple feet there, but I got you. So same thing underwater, no problem.
When it gets to 50, it's adding close to 25 feet.
No, 3 inches.
Yeah.
3 inches per.
Is it only 3 inches?
3 inches between the yard and the meters.
Okay,
3
then
inches.
it would be 50 divided by 4.
No, it's just 3 inches times 50.
Yeah, so that's 150.
150
divided by
inches.
12.
150 inches is like 10 feet, 12 feet, whatever it is. That's not that much.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, add a couple feet on there.
12 and a half feet. 12
Which,
and
don't
a
get
half.
me wrong. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to try to play down that that's not a big distance, but it's not that much of a distance when you're talking
I mean,
about
if you look
when you're
at 50
swimming, you have
yards,
momentum.
50 yards compared to 50 meters, it's visually different. Like you can tell the difference between meters and yards.
But either way, so what we're saying, I don't remember how long. I don't remember my time for holding breath, but I know we trained with it, so I know it was decent. But then again, that's somebody who trained. We're saying like, hey, Rena's character is literally never trained holding her breath. I got 5
How do you know
minutes,
that?
bro. Don't worry.
How do you know that? Well, I imagine when you reach the end, you either pass out or like you can't go 5 minutes without having some kind of repercussion in real life, obviously. But I don't know what the rules are in this game. Probably nothing.
Fantasy.
So yeah, the world record of somebody. Now, mind you, was that granted? This is a similar situation where it's not underwater, so but that's that you're talking about somebody who has trained like those Tibetan monks that can slow down their heartbeat and shit like that. That's probably who the person was a goddamn monk that can meditate and drop their heart rate, which is again hyper training over countless years to get anywhere near that. But when you're talking about the average even athlete, how long they can hold their breath, that is, yeah.
Non-auction aided record stands at 11 minutes 35 seconds for men and 8 minutes 23 seconds for women.
11 minutes?
11 minutes of holding your breath.
Oh my god.
That's the
That's
world
like-
record for a man and 8 minutes and 23 seconds for women.
11 minutes is actually a stupid long time to hold your breath.
Well,
It's 11 and a half minutes, a little over 11 and a half.
They're talking about 25 minutes in chat.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about there. 11 minutes is something that I could actually consume. That's one of those like, yeah, you train your whole life for it sort of a thing. Sure.
A
Sure.
56-year-old free diver held breath for almost 25 minutes, but he had oxygen aided stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
Is that really holding your breath if you're oxygenated?
There's interesting things that are there.
like,
Some caveats.
yeah, I'm sure there's certain things that you can do, like how you've properly like added extra oxygen into your body in advance, or blah 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 blah. Maybe there's specific temperatures. Either way. So,
anyway, yeah. So what are we talking
there's a difference
about
between
here?
actively doing something Viking too, because they're not actively doing something. They're literally sitting inside of a hole and locking it up and hoping that Kroll decides to open it later.
Oh, so
24
the
minutes
three of
and
us
30
would be going in it, and Kroll would take us down using their spell, and then we would use the one that we have to get out. Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
in
this
theory,
is
that would work.
longest time breath held voluntarily was 24 minutes and 3 seconds.
That's a stupid long time.
And then it was just beaten. But the record I was reading, I think, was underwater.
Imagine how
This is not underwater.
oxygen deprived somebody's brain would be that does this kind of training all the time. Like how often you would just starve your brain of oxygen so you could beat a record. Like how many brain cells are you just like
I mean, if you
popping
think
left
about
and
it,
right.
Scott, you got to remember we are all superhuman in the sense of like, and the average person, us, if we did tests and stuff like that, the highest we would score in any of these scores would probably be like a 10 or an 11.
Well, average is a 10, right? So you'd
Yeah.
say the highest that any of us could score on something
Depending,
would be like a 14.
I could probably hit a 12.
No. You say that the highest that you could hit is like a 14, right? Not the
Maybe
highest you would hit
you'd
is a
have
10.
to be.
I'm saying the highest that you could hit is a 14. That's like that's
Right.
top bar.
But I don't think any of us would get anywhere near that on Constitution.
Oh, con? Fuck no.
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not. No.
Strength maybe, Dex maybe.
Dude, my wisdom score is a
intelligence.
7. Like full on. Scott Davis's wisdom score is a 7.
I don't know what mine would be.
It's a fucking
And his
7. for
charisma
me.
is 2.
So keep that in mind when you look at these numbers, Scott, of how much inflated we are in that sense.
Oh, of course. I know.
Bro, I'm so inflated right now.
But anyways, so let's go back to
What we're doing. Yeah.
That's
so are we
why
gonna
I
do that?
Viking I often describe it as narrow misses and whatnot and losing a footing. Yeah, so you can't have Kroll do it for this really important reason. Kroll has a 10 constitution. He'd hold his breath for legit 1 minute and then
Well,
he'd dying.
The
Good.
debate would be whether we trust Kroll to let us out of the hole in time for us not to die.
I mean, Kroll, yes. The Emperor, no.
Emperor could totally distract him with an argument.
You don't think the Emperor would care to see this go through? I feel
He
like-
might for Ophios.
I think
if
he
the
might just
transformation
for
makes sense,
funsies.
but-
Like he's doing it for funsies, I think.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I forgot something. Oh, God, they're all dead. Oh, man. I was just having such a good time not thinking about it.
Wait, hold on. 5e specifically does that as well. I didn't know that because I've literally done that for like fucking 20 years because I've always hated the pincushion argument. I've always hated it.
If-
I gotta
Who
read
said-
chat.
so
What are you
who
talking
said-
what
about?
about
suggests
not
this?
being hit? What is this?
Nothing. We're just talking about health point pools. So
Oh,
anyways,
yeah, we can. There is a way to force yourself out of the portable hole as well, for the record.
What?
Yeah, there's a rule for getting out of the portable hole. So
Is
if
it the
you're unwillingly
5e
put in
portable
there-
hole?
Yeah, 5e portable hole. A DC 10 strength check to get out with an action.
What?
That's not while it's closed, bro.
Yeah, it says if the hole is folded up, a creature within the hole's extra-dimensional space can use an action to make a DC 10 strength check. On a successful check, the
Dude,
creature
5e is
forces its way out.
so. Oh my god, it's so lame. It's so lame.
Yeah,
They're like,
10
oh, if you're in this extra dimensional space whose entire every wall
He's
is
just
folded
trying to
in on
kill us.
itself. It's just
Wait.
no, it's just so wimp.
Isn't that how Pat died?
Pat died in a bag of holding, which wasn't a bag of holding; it was a bag of devouring.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Like,
so
This is such trash. That's a DC 10 to be able to climb. Beforehand, I don't even know if you could climb out. Like, there's legit no rules for being able to climb out because it made no sense. Because literally the walls were caved in on themselves. You cannot get out. 5e is trash, absolute trash. But that's why we always put the portable hole inside of a shoe. Like, you can't get out if it can't open up.
Yeah. Shoes are
who-
indestructible.
So who's suggesting this?
This is our discussion for another way out, because what could happen is we climb into the hole and they use gaseous form and then get to the top and let us out.
Right. So like, whose idea was it? Ophios, or did Kroll think of this, or what?
We haven't thought of it. It was just Scott talking.
No. So she's saying, now that we've thought about it, who's bringing it up?
I wouldn't bring it up. now.
Let's bring it in game.
I wouldn't bring it up yet. I would bring it up when the situation presented itself in a dire strait and dire need, which would be once we're down there. That's the only time I would.
It would
I
make
feel
more
like I
sense
would.
though to do it going down, though, is what I'm saying. Wouldn't it?
Because they have the ring. Yeah, it would make more sense.
Because he has the ring
Rena,
that he'll
actually,
use.
Rena, you've been in the hole, so I feel like you would think of it.
I thought about that, but yeah, I can bring it up, I guess. Fine. She doesn't want to. There's one other option.
Oh,
what do we call it? What do we reference it as?
We
Just
call it the hole.
That's what we call the
Yeah.
hole.
Called Sparky.
Well, remember when we tried to get through the tunnels that took us to the sewers? And you had to carry me through. But
I honestly didn't think of that, Arena.
well, I try not to think about it.
You seem to be fine.
Yeah.
Kroll, question.
Hmm?
You don't want us to die, do you?
Why would I want you to die?
I don't know. Let me think about it.
Your life and death both have no additional meaning to me.
My question is, can I trust you?
There's no value in letting you die, and in letting you live, it would satisfy curiosity. So I suppose yes.
Well, with that sense, there's a way in which we can get down there without wasting our potion and vaporizer on the way down, since you have that ring store spell. And you say you can get down, return with that, correct?
I could certainly get down there with my casting, but it'll only be a single casting, and we'll be down there well beyond its length of time that it works. It eventually will expire.
How does that ring regain its ability to work?
It has to be cast back into it. It's a spell that I do not personally know.
And how many can you take on the one spell of the ring?
The ring, the spell in general only works on an individual person. I intend to cast it on myself. That's how I intend to get there. As for coming back out, I haven't fully figured that out yet.
Well, here we have, as Rena proposed, there's a way for us to get down, which would require you using your ring and carrying us within something we call the hole in interdimensional space.
Go on.
When you arrive, you would then open the hole and we could climb out. Upon going back up, one of us could easily go back into the hole and then use the potion on all three of us to return out. Therefore, not requiring the use of the statue.
In the event that we can't.
So we have our way in and out, is what I'm saying.
I don't understand how this whole works, but I'm not an idiot. I understand what you're trying to describe. If this... wouldn't you run out of air?
I've done it before.
Yes. That is why I, of course, said, can I trust you?
He nods, says, I understand. Now,
I already thought of that.
I believe your characters can all hold their breath for about 35 minutes, making things safe. And when we reopen the hole with a 10-foot gap, each of you can from base to ledge, just hop up there without any concerns.
That is absolutely right, sir. Yes,
Yes, you're correct. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm the details here. Okay.
Okay, no, but technically I can hold my breath for 5 minutes and the other two less time, so I just won't breathe.
I also imagine if your breathe, like if it was longer than 5 minutes, your character's not just consuming 30 seconds of air over the next 30 seconds. You're like afterwards, so you're actually consuming a lot of air very quickly. You know what I mean? So
No.
you would want to get out of there in 5 minutes still or less. You know?
Yeah.
But
I guess
maybe
I could,
6-7 minutes would be safe. Go ahead.
since I went down with Jesslyn before, I could kind of describe to him like how I got down there the first time in the gasage form, so he knows where he's going, just to ensure that he gets down there within like 5 minutes or so.
Now, how are you gonna do that?
I don't know. Well, from whatever I remember, I guess being a gas.
So
Don't I remember,
you
like,
go
leaving
down
go
the
to the
crack,
entrance. We
and then
go to the
you'll wiggle
entrance.
your way along the crack as much as you can until
Fine.
eventually you find
Okay,
the hole,
fine.
and then you just
Whatever.
start
I
wiggling your
get
way
it.
through the
I
hole.
get it. All right, fine. We'll at least tell him how many feet down it is, because that I know.
That actually Ophios knows very well.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So Ophius would let him know and say,
When standing in this spot right here,
it is
Mhm.
exactly 500 feet below here is where the room is that we need to get to. 500 feet to the floor, not the ceiling.
Yep. So he is says, "Well, I am prepared. I'm not too concerned about my own safety."
That's nice.
Please don't leave us to die in this hole. And he's
Shake-
going to start unfolding it.
Shakes his head and says, "You believe this will take less than 5 minutes. The casting of this spell will last 10. So I have more than enough time to find myself down there."
Make sure you open this hole as soon as possible. You can put it on a wall or a floor.
Don't worry, I won't get distracted.
You
A
best
quick
not.
question. Oh no, I suppose I can't answer it. I'll be a gas. It does actually make a different question. If this is a magic item that has an extra dimensional space within it, and I turn into gas, and so therefore the magic item turns into gas, and you were within that magic item, would you turn into gas as well?
We'll find out.
I suppose not, because you're not here with me. You're
Kroll?
in a different extra
Kroll?
dimensional.
Kroll, we need
Kroll?
to focus. We can
Apologies.
answer that question once we arrive down there. We'll probably
We'll
know
let
if we
you know.
turn into a gas.
So
He's going to open the hole and gesture for Rena and Yondis to get in, and Ophius will go in last.
Of course.
Don't fuck with us.
Yeah. Okay. She'll go into it, but
Noise.
you see she hesitates. Then she'll jump in.
you guys climb in.
Yep.
He grabs the thing and it starts to fold it, and you guys get that experience where, like, it is that, what's that movie, Inception? It was like,
Mm-hmm.
and right before he does, he stops where it's still like a sliver there, like Pac-Man's open mouth or whatever, but only barely open. He says, "I suppose this is when you might want to take a deep breath."
We'll have 10
goes
minutes.
Ophius is in transforming into snake form, so maybe that'll conserve oxygen, but I doubt it.
Because they are cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot-blooded. So plain to see. So yeah.
I mean, I think he can more easily take up less space in snake form. So yeah, he goes into snake form in there.
So you turn
Should
into a
tell-
large-sized snake and assume you consume less oxygen?
I would think so.
Sure.
That sounds like a
When-
bad idea.
Maybe
I think you should
bigger?
just
Scott,
stay-
don't listen to Scott.
Am I-
Whatever.
Stay
not
your
bigger.
normal size.
I'm not.
No,
Fine, I'll stay
I
in my
imagine
normal
I imagine your mass stays the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you weigh 200 pounds, you become a 200-pound
Fine.
snake.
I'm staying in my normal form. I'm not going in snake form.
He's like, knowing Joey spoke, I shall listen.
No, there was this argument you were having. I'm like, we're not having this debate now. I'm just gonna be normal.
She is gonna say
Tyler,
that
be normal? You got Darkwing
Tyler-
Duck behind you. How are you normal?
Tyler, you're normal enough.
They got the same color scheme. All right. So,
All right.
anyways, let's keep going. Show.
So we all take a deep breath.
yeah, she was gonna say to
Excuse me. I
to
want to
them-
hear you take the deep breath.
Jesus Christ. Never mind.
Rita, I want to hear your breath, and then you can tell me what you're going to say to them.
Rena, that's sexual harassment. We can file. We got him.
Rita, what were you going to say to them?
I was gonna say breathe if you really need to. I can hold my breath for quite a while.
You're rude.
Ophios is already in a meditating.
You're a jerk.
Speaking of meditating, it's funny you guys can't talk at all because you're holding your breath this entire. What's up, guys? How you doing?
We're careful. We're not holding our breath. We just are trying to control our breathing, so we're not.
No, you
fact,
hold
Scott,
your roll.
as a DM, you could make it really difficult on us and having us roll to make sure that we're not
No, that's the suffocating rolls
panicking.
afterwards. You gotta hold your breath.
Make sure we're not panicking and using
You
more
gotta
oxygen.
hold your breath.
Fine.
Well, you can do whatever you want. You can breathe if you like. I don't give a shit. But all right, so let's keep going. You
Or
guys
be twice
jump
as
in.
fast as normal.
It's
jump in-
painted on the wall.
Rena,
Why are you asking why?
Did
It's
you-
painted.
want to say anything?
That's what I said to them.
Okay. Anything else? Because they said it was 2 things.
It was just that.
Okay, my apologies. All right, cool. All right, you. Since Rena won't do it, I did it for you. And
Lawsuit incoming.
he folds it up, and Kroll is methodical. He's not very fast moving. He's very methodical. So he perfectly folds the thing in half, and then in half again, and again, and again, and again, and again. It's like a little sliver, like he was showed how to do beforehand. He looks the thing
Cool.
over and goes, "Huh, this is an interesting item. If they are found dead, I suppose I would keep it." And puts into his a satchel at his side. Holds up the ring, looks at it for a moment, and says, "I really hope this works." And spends the next 3 seconds or so casting the spell.
This is a strange experience. Is this what it's like to be what you are? No, not in the least bit. You are still a thing. I am
Earlier-
nothing. I am.
Remember that. You are nothing. I suppose less conversing and more travel. Travel ahead of me, Emperor. Make sure I know the correct path. That you can pass through these walls
Fucking
unerringly.
hate this guy. He's so annoying.
And then all of a sudden, like out of the mist comes an incorporeal creature. And he says, "Go on. We wouldn't want them suffocating because we got lost." And then the Emperor starts dropping down. He spends a moment looking throughout the room in his altered state. And then he reaches down, kind of like floats sideways as opposed to having to walk. He can like float sideways down to the ground and reaches into it with his arm, like just kind of like breaking down even more and more into a whole bunch of different really spread out particles. Like all the atoms are really spread out to be able to fit inside of it as he's gaseously doing so. And then he allows like his whole arm starting to be like sucked away as it gets thinner and thinner and thinner to be able to get through. And then all of a sudden he feels his whole body going. He's like, "Oh, this is a strange experience," as he goes into it. And he starts floating his way down there, cautiously moving through the areas to not get lost, continuing to go as straight down as he can, but there's lots of broken pathways. Oh, my toe felt a dead end over there. Let me pull that back. That whole leg back up over here as I'm moving down my body over this way. And my hand felt a dead end over there, and continuing to move his way down as quickly as he can. Can somebody in chat go ahead and roll me a d10?
Oh God. Oh my God, a 5.
Messy, what's your con? Tyler, what's your con?
My con's 2.
Lacona's 2.
3 minutes in. You guys run out of breath. You have to start gasping for air. There's 2 minutes of the, 10 minutes of air consumed over the next 2 minutes, but not 4 minutes out of the 10. Because again, because you're gasping for air, you consume a little bit more than that. You actually consume 5 minutes of air.
I said we weren't starting holding our breath. Rena was.
Whatever the case may be, because the air is being consumed as you go, right? If you're not holding your breath the whole time, technically it's making you consume more than that.
Technically, we wouldn't be gasping, therefore we wouldn't be consuming more like you're trying to make us do.
But you'd be consuming more because you're breathing the whole time, even if slowly.
Yeah, we would consume it and then hold our breath after a
Constitution
certain
save,
point.
sir. Not save, check. Constitution check. Messy's holding his breath, I imagine.
Okay. Constitution check. Oh,
or
my
not,
God.
or not holding his breath.
There you go, Scott. 18.
Are you holding your breath, Messi? Okay, you apparently only Rena's holding his breath, and Messi's fucking up. So Messi consumes over the course of 5 minutes, 5 minutes worth of air. Rena
Oh,
consumes
no.
over 5 minutes, 0 minutes worth of air. And Tyler consumes over 5 minutes because he successfully made his check. We'll say he consumed only less than 2 minutes. We'll say a minute and a half worth of air, heading a meditative state. That's fine. So we have 6.5 minutes of air go by. Gone after 5 minutes.
After 5 minutes of time, because I imagine we are able to tell how long is going, then I will start holding my breath.
You have to take a pretty deep breath to do that,
That's fine.
consuming more than just one round of air. It's also less dense inside the hole since there's less like air pressure. You're not taking in as much when you gasp in your lungs, so it's not going to last as long and whatnot. Rena, you're out of air. What do you do? Do you continue trying to hold your breath? Or do you start gasping?
I'm gonna continue to try to hold my breath.
Oh, that's dangerous
No.
because you're going past 5 minutes.
It is dangerous. Because then it gets to suffocation. So, Rena, you can survive a number of rounds beyond this point. When they run out of breath. Equal to your con mod. So
Mhm.
4 more rounds. That's about half a minute. At the start of your next turn, you drop to 0 health points. And then the
Rena,
turn
just
after that,
breathe.
you just fall unconscious.
Rena, breathe in and then hold your breath again.
That
Rena,
wasting
I
breath
need
for
you-
me too, though.
I need you to go ahead and make me a wisdom save. Wisdom save.
Who?
Rena. She holds her breath until she passes out. The good news about this is she's not gasping for air.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually, her body, unconscious body breathes, but it's not her conscious mind gasping,
Just shallow breaths, probably.
which is extremely dangerous. We're going to have you make an intelligence save in a minute. After 6 minutes total, I was adding a little bit to that. Finally, the thing opens up. You guys consumed 6.5 minutes, right? Rena consumed half a minute. That's 7. Messi consumed another, minute. That's 8. Tyler starts holding his breath, but took a deep breath beforehand. We can say it's about maybe 9 minutes worth as he holds it over the course of the rest of the time or whatever, however that works. There's a little bit of air left
I had
inside
3
there.
minutes to hold.
When all of a sudden the thing opens up and air comes rushing back in. Rena's unconscious. And the air comes rushing back in. And Kroll looks down at the 3 of you and says, "Is she alive?"
Ophios would check right away.
Go over a medicine check.
I guess I'd assist because I'm right here and to give you some advantage.
Oh, yeah, Messi, you pick up her foot and push it, put it to your ear, looking for a pulse.
So do I roll normal with
Rena got that reference. Rena got that
I know what you're
reference.
talking
Do I roll
Yeah.
normal with
Yeah.
advantage?
Yeah.
Advantage because of Messi.
It's wisdom. I have a 0 modifier.
Oh,
So
well,
really,
maybe.
you should have rolled.
Well, that's fine.
You don't find a pulse. So he says, "Is she alive?"
Unclear.
Was she he says, was she the one that owns the portable hole?
No, that would be me.
That's unfortunate. Well, leave the body. We can get on with the experiment.
I'm not leaving her in here.
He shrugs. I have work to get started on. The Emperor is already over there. And he starts walking over to go and investigate the
Yondis, if you'd
chambers.
help me. I hope she's alive. I don't think she is, but let's get her out of this hole.
Okay. Yeah. Do I have anything I can do? I
Healing
don't think
potion?
So.
You slap her in the face, breathe deep into her mouth, and say, "Wake! Wake! Damn it!
You know what?
Wake!"
I do have one greater healing
CPR, baby.
potion. No, I have two. I have two greater healing potions. I don't think they're actually on me though, because I don't have a backpack. I don't think.
Sure.
But-
Go right ahead.
Actually, Ophios has an easier way. I'm gonna use my amulet and sacrifice my life points to give to her.
Oh, nice. How noble of you.
How many life points you sacrificing there, baby?
Um,
And how do you do that again?
it's half. I'm able to take life from myself and heal her half.
So we wanted like a 20 to 10
So-
or like a 10 to 5?
I was gonna do 10 to 5. So I'll
Um,
drop to 70.
She wakes up. Intelligence save, Rena.
Did we get a full rest in? I think we did, right?
We would
Yeah,
have
been
got
a few
full
days.
rest.
of rest,
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that 12 on an intelligence save
Mama
after being
boomer.
without oxygen for a long time?
Sorry.
I would increase that in whatever way you can, Rena.
She wakes up and just drops a bomb. Like, there you go.
15.
And
was
because
like,
it's
he's
a
gonna
big
do it.
empty portable hole.
God.
That's
Guys
a
are the
15,
worst.
Scott.
Okay, you're actually okay.
Are we alive?
Yeah, we all made it. No scares.
Not at all.
Doesn't
Miss
sound very reassuring.
Not having a pulse.
Shh.
What?
Anyway, let's get out of this hole.
Don't say that.
She'll just be like, yeah, and then like go to stand up and then jump out, I guess. But
Man, we are
probably
terrible.
jump.
Did you only
It's
have
the
5
worst.
hit points now?
Yes, because I dropped to 0, right?
No, you just jump right back up.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's like it's like a strange 0 status. Yeah, unless I'm mistaken, it's not like you're at 0 health now. It's like, no, you dropped to 0, but if you are awoken, you should be fine. I could be
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
If somebody interprets that differently, I like the different interpretation. I'd love to just use that as a way to take some of the 132
Scott,
health
I
points and
actually
bring it to
just
0.
talked to the guy who invented 5e, and he said that whatever you say is wrong.
You know, Jeremy Crawford probably would agree with that. And he's one of the big rules lawyers for it. So either way, he'd be like, it's tiefling. And I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Joke's on you, I do.
I have a healing potion on me. I do not.
I think we got two very different interpretations there. Either way, so you guys get out, and you already see Kroll is standing there and says, he actually says aloud, he goes, yes, just go and check. And so the Emperor is like, I do not like receiving orders in my own. Just go. And he flies through the wall. Behind where it is that these pipes come from. He's gone for several minutes as Kroll starts putting stuff onto a table and getting it together.
What can I do to help right now, Kroll?
I don't understand these matters. As a matter of fact, you would know what to do next better than I do.
Fair. I need help getting the glass container out of the hole.
Oh, well, it looks like Rena's alive. Congratulations. She's more physically adept. Perhaps she should assist you in that.
It's funny he says that because Ophios had turned to Rena to say that.
Oh, glad I'm not dead then. And
He
she'll
agrees.
go to wherever the.
He nods and says, I concur.
You can see Ophios is sitting there looking at himself like, bitch, I just gave you health from my own body.
I almost died apparently, but it's fine. It's fine. No, I'll go back to wherever the cylinder that we need is, and I'll try to. Oh God, this again.
Ophios is helping.
Remember this
It's
the
not
first time.
just you.
Okay, all right, good. But she'll say too. We have to be careful with this. It's quite fragile.
Okay, good luck.
Why do you think I'm here?
Just help me with this. So, what do I get advantage on a strength check? Is that what I'm doing? Son of a bitch.
Are you comfortable with that roll, Rena?
Wow.
Aw.
Wow.
Scott, before she rolled, I was going to ask a question, but all right.
Sorry.
I wondered if freedom of movement would help.
Don't worry about it. She was able to get it out.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah. It's just picking up a big glass thing and you standing up top, and she's able to lift it over her head and then jump 7 feet in the air, and you can just slide it over. So
Like
Forgot
LeBron
it's
James
like LeBron
superhuman.
James,
You're
yeah.
really upset about this
in
stuff.
Space Jam 2.
I saw that actually. Legit. Great movie.
Ugh,
Loved it.
Sorry.
I fucking loved it. I won't lie. Like, I laughed so many times during that movie. It was so funny. But then again,
Wow.
understand I am a parent, and I was sitting next to a 5.5-year-old. It was also the first time I went to a movie theater in over 2 years. So it was
I haven't seen the new one, so I can't say.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. So it is obviously not the original. Like, let's be clear. It is not going to be the original. Think of how old that shit was.
Right. It's
But-
yeah.
Like, don't think it's a remake. It is, but don't walk into it like, I expect, There's a lot of good cameos and
All right.
Easter eggs and whatnot.
So
But-
we get the
so-
glass thing
So
out.
you get the thing out,
Mhm.
and one of the things that Kroll does actually looks over to Yondis and points at a body and says,
Mm.
"Was this important?"
The body?
Yeah, it was a body of like an all fucked up creature.
What?
It's a reptile. It's one of the reptilians.
Correct. Was this thing
Yeah.
important?
I don't think so.
Not
It attacked
particularly.
us.
It was one of the experiments.
How about that one over there? It looks a bit different. And he points at the one that Messi killed inside this room. The only one that was killed inside this room. The rest of them were killed down the hole by the rest of you, right? But the only one that was killed inside this room because he crawled up before Messi's like, I'll take care of that one. And like did nothing else.
Oh, it was one of the
Mhm.
actual mole.
He says, how about that one right there?
I don't think so.
No?
Why would that one be? Why would they be special?
None
Are
of
you
the
looking
bodies.
for something specific?
Yes, I'm trying to find answers. Were none of these bodies important?
I'm sure the emperor could speak to the people that is, as far as the one under the door and the ones that have scales or hands of snakes. Those were one of the experiments.
I don't care much about the experiments. I want to speak with the other thing. So the question is, this creature here, was it here during the time that these experiments would have happened? Before, after? Do we know?
It's from below in the living quarters, right, Yondis?
Yeah, there was a ton of them down there that I think worked here, right?
Perfect. Excuse me, he says, walking past you. He casts a spell on himself. You can roll Arcana to identify what it is, and then he casts another spell. You can roll Arcana to identify what it is.
Okay. I'm not gonna do it.
That's the first spell. I'm rolling again.
Comprehend languages. Unfortunately, you didn't understand the next one. The first one is comprehend languages. And then he reaches down and he does a little bit of an incantation. And as part of that incantation, he reaches down, says a few words, and he touches the corpse. And the corpse's eyes open. And then it opens its mouth and it goes, and you see a spirit rise out of the corpse and rise above it. And he looks at it and says, you're going to answer a few questions for me briefly.
I've seen one of those before.
It's Speak
Spirit.
with Dead. Yeah. He says, you're going to answer a few questions for me. The first question being, this chamber, is this the primary chamber for doing experimentation? And this is in Mull. So if you don't speak Mull, you don't understand. Who here speaks Mull?
None of us.
Okay.
None of us.
Then you hear, he nods and says, very well then. Specifically, is this the room for experimentation for the Sloko, or if you don't know what that is, the lizard people? Yeah. Thank you. For that experimentation, what do you know about the experimentation, because this is some later on stuff that happened. I just go nods and says, he kind of screws up his face and says, wait, you never experimented on Sloko or any other reptilian people beyond the one? Huh. Since there was only one, I'm sure it exists in your memory. Which one was it?
Snog.
And then you can
Sorry?
see the spirit drops back down and into the body, and you can hear and the eyes close, and the body just lays to rest. And he looks back and goes, huh. Apparently. Go ahead.
Did he just say Snaga?
He nods.
Why? Oh, I wasn't able to understand him, right? He was speaking in Maltese.
No, he was speaking in a language you understood.
They
Because by rules, the spirit can understand the caster of the spell, but you can't necessarily understand the language that the spirit
Okay.
speaks. So that's why comprehend language is not tongues. Go ahead.
They experimented on Snaga. Snaga was the original, is what they were saying.
I don't think experimented on Snaga would be the correct interpretation.
Explain.
I don't know much about Snaga. It's not a god I ever had any interest in. But it seems as though perhaps Snaga was something they worked on. They didn't. He made it sound as though they created Snaga.
I would also like to keep in mind that we are snake, not lizard. There's a distinct difference.
Sorry for
I just
that
wanted
offense.
to clarify that. I'm not offended. I just wanted to make sure you understood that what I am is part snake.
It's like when somebody's like, I'm Sicilian, not Italian. And you're like, but that's...
They're both reptiles. They're distinctly different.
No, I know. But to him, it's like, cool, you know? Anyways, so, and I know that was a vast difference between my example. One was a region within a country. Yours was two different species. Or two different familia, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, so moving on. So eventually, so he looks at the three of you with a somewhat perplexed face and says, I don't know how to interpret that, but I'm not sure if it's something we should speak to.
They're fine.
He says, coming through the wall behind.
It seems as though there's enough to get the job done, but we're going to have to transport from some containers to the others. We're going to need to bucket over to make sure we have enough.
Kroll looks at him and says, I imagine you...
Yes, I do.
Good. And then looks back at turns his back to the Emperor and gives you each of you a look like a knowing look.
Like we need to do it.
No. A knowing look like maybe we shouldn't.
Not mention it in front of the Emperor. What we just talked about.
Oh. Ophius would nod.
Emperor says,
This will take a few hours. Come with me, follow my instruction. If we are careful, we should have enough.
more or less what's going to happen is you guys are going to allow goop to come out and to be more or less like fed back in the other tunnels to make it work. And he knows how to go about that process. The equipment is beat to shit, old, so on and so forth, but you can pull it off. To do so, because it's careful work, it will be a dexterity check you're doing to make this happen.
Hey, Yondas. What's up, dude?
Yond is able to do it. He is going to have aid, so he can do it with advantage. The DC is a 20. You have to roll
Am I
3
rolling-
times. You need to succeed at least 2 of these, or you won't have enough to do the experiment.
Am I rolling a tools check or something?
No, this is a dexterity check, and you do have
Dexterity
advantage.
with advantage.
Okay.
You have a 4 in that, right?
Yep.
Modifier.
He'll be like, I'm telling you, don't touch that.
Bada bing. Bada badoo.
Next.
How many times?
Well,
We have to hit
just
it
do one
3
more.
times.
Oh, one more with advantage. Bada bing.
Ooh, you know you need to beat a DC of 20. Okay? You have to succeed 2 out of 3. Do you want to try to luck that just in case?
Don't you have an ability there?
I was gonna ask about that.
What's that ability specifically say?
If I fail an ability check using a skill or
I fucking
tool.
hate you. Go ahead.
Was that a skill or tool though? Because it says using
It's
a
a-
skill or tool with which you have
Well,
proficiency.
it's an ability check. Whoa. Hold on. You have to be proficient?
You have to be proficient.
Oh, it does not apply. Oh.
Okay. Then
Oh.
I'll try to roll luck if we
Oh.
have some. Bada bing,
Oh.
20.
20!
there it is.
You succeed.
And I'll roll the last one anyway. It's a good thing I rolled that.
Yeah, it's a
luck.
good thing you lucked that.
That could have
Huge.
been bad, boys. There was
That could've been real
25%
bad.
chance of true failure.
Messy giving me anxiety for the second time this week.
Long goes Vicky?
Yeah, that's. I was
Wait, what?
thinking
Second time?
Anxiety.
Do you not remember your pod race?
Now that's pod racing. So, anyways,
No, I don't remember.
you get it
Oh,
all
you
set up
don't.
inside there. Kroll then looks at you and says, "It seems like everything's all set. At this point, it's just a matter of whether or not it would work on you."
Everything is set.
We were able to get enough of the supply to do the experiments. Unfortunately, I was hoping to save some to send in there with a bit of your blood to try it first to see a little test to make sure that things will react well enough to make it worth the try. But since
Ophius
we
pulls out the
wasted
jar.
enough,
That he has of the liquid because he grabbed some last time, Scott.
I need a greater volume than this. But
And this is a bit, there's shit inside of it, remember? It's a little dirty.
It
He
might
says-
be a little dirty.
yeah, he says, I need a greater volume than this. And it's dirty. But there's also some dirty stuff on the floor. If we can filter it, maybe we'll have enough.
Dexterity check with disadvantage, Messy.
Sorry, ahead of time if I failed.
It's okay.
Does it have to hit a 20?
No. You're able to get up a good amount of it off of the floor, but again, it is dirty. And then it's a matter of filtering out all the filth. Who's going to roll the intelligence check to filter this out?
That'll be me.
Intelligence checks are average. It's disadvantage because you don't really have proper materials. I'll beat the shit, but your friends are helping you, so normal.
Question.
Answer.
Can I use my Loper knowledge?
Not for this, because it's just filtering. This is like making not a colander, but like a strainer, you know?
Strainer? I don't even know her.
Fuck me, dude. A 9.
You're not my style, I'm just saying. Do you have any abilities that can modify that intelligence check, sir?
The only thing I can think of is luck die. I don't think I have anything other than I don't have rerolls. I have an enhanced focus that doesn't help me. That's just the focus thing. Poison immunity. Cold resistance.
Cold
Now-
resistance? Yeah.
Now Messi has to have a emote of an alien face that says Bogo's Binted on it.
Hey, can
What
I
was
use
the-
my action surge here to roll again?
No. No, you cannot.
All right, I'm rolling luck on it and trying to get better.
Boom,
We got no
baby.
luck.
You're a failure. So, yep, unfortunately, it didn't work out. You're not able to properly strain it out. He goes, I think you're wasting more. Just stop. But anyways, so now you're going to have to do the experiment without it. Okay, the experiment is actually being done by the Emperor, so you guys don't have to worry about doing any rolls or anything here. I'm going to roll actually separately. But I'm going to ask this. There's a chance that the contaminants inside there are going to fuck with it. We're going to do a D100 roll with disadvantage because of that. Tyler and Rena each choose somebody in chat to roll a D100.
Oh God.
Well, I'm going with Snaga.
I was gonna say if you don't, I will.
Jake. Ooh,
Yes.
Jake.
Oh yes, I'll choose Jake.
It is the
Absolutely.
Emperor. It is the
It's
Emperor.
Perfect. Yeah.
Literally Kroll and Snugga.
Ooh. I don't know if high is good or low is bad. Scott
He'll
didn't
tell us
say.
after. Go ahead, Jake.
I just
Highest
love
good,
that he said the
lowest
same thing
bad.
twice. That's something I say all the time, Tyler. I'm like, let's flip a coin. Heads I win, tails you lose. Oh, heads I win. Oh, tails you lose.
Jake rolls a 56, Snaga rolled a 20.
So it was with disadvantage. So I take the worst of the two rolls.
But I don't know which is. I'm assuming low is bad.
I rolled a 23 on my alchemy check, just so you know. But Pathfinder rules, so less than that in 5e rules. Anyways, so he takes a bit of your blood and tries to work
What?
the experiment.
I rolled a 93, Scott. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
And tries to do the experiment, and in the end, he goes. He just gets so frustrated. He tries to like take the tools that he's using and smash them off the shelf onto the floor, but he's ectoplasmic, so instead he just like gets everything goopy, and like it shifts over a little bit, like it wibbles, and then it gets goopy, and he's like, "It's not working." He's like, "There's too much shit in there. We can't do a proper experiment. We don't know if it's gonna work. Just get in the tube."
Ophios is going to disrobe and carefully fold his items, and in doing so is going to
Kroll says, appropriately sized for a snake man.
Ophios is going to hand his focus to Yondis and hand his sword and shield to Rena. No.
To answer the question in chat.
Oh. Hand his sword and
Would he
shield to
try?
Rena.
That's a good question. Will he try?
Nah, he'd leave it on. It won't affect things.
What?
Yeah.
No one's gonna say anything about that.
He's gonna try and take everything off so it doesn't come off.
It's not that it doesn't come off. It says he doesn't even try.
Why wouldn't I? Am I not allowed to try?
Well, it's just one of those things that wouldn't
You don't
cross your
want to.
mind.
Yeah.
If I'm disrobing, I assume I would.
It wouldn't cross your mind.
Okay.
It's like when you get naked to jump in the shower, you don't take your ring off. You just don't even think of it. It's like a part
I
of
don't
your
wear
body.
a ring, but
Yeah, neither do I, buddy.
So do you think about that?
Absolutely.
So-
I hate me having wet hands with a ring on. It's the worst. I take it off. I put it on like an hour after I get out of the shower when my hands are properly dried. But then I remember I want to lotion my hands, so it comes off again.
So yeah, Rena gets his sword and his shield, and Giannis gets his focus.
Okay.
And he's gonna go in there, and he'll just simply say, "Well, if this is goodbye, just know I couldn't have asked for two better friends."
Feel
Better
like we
not
just
be
met.
the guy. This better not be goodbye again.
If it is, you know what to do.
By the way, Kroll, the hole was Rita's. Just want you to know.
What?
Damn. He looks at you and says, I wanted your hole, but never mind.
Excuse me?
He has a way with words.
You say, excuse me, and he
Yondis,
doesn't get it.
can I borrow some health from you?
What?
You or Rena? I figure I should go into this completely healed, not missing
By the way, according to rules as written, not rules as intended, Rena does have 5 health points right now. I'm totally
Okay.
going to suffocate people out in the future. It's going to be
That's
awesome.
what I thought. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
am I
take it from
not?
Rena.
Don't take it from me. I'll die.
How much you need?
Rena gets a second wind after she wakes up, though.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
technically.
You could that mother fluffer.
Fine.
She wakes up to a second wind. Oh,
Oh my God.
that's on
In that
fleek.
case, so I'd have to
Let me
take
roll.
20 hit points from you to heal 10, so I'm not going to do that.
Rena has 19 to
I mean, you
spend. 19,
can.
so
I don't have to spare. That's all I've got left.
I'm at max. You can take 20 if you need it.
like, how does this thing? Ah!
I'm just
Do
curious
this.
if it'll affect it if I'm injured going in there if something happens. So
I
Maybe.
have health potions too if you just want one of those.
yeah, give me
Yeah,
health
old
potions.
school.
Alright, I just gave you a potion of greater healing.
What's that, Scott?
A lot.
2D.
More than you're hurt. Just
Plus
take
four?
take the potion. Greater healings. What? How many is it, Messy? 8d8 plus 8.
I'm asking.
84 plus 8.
It's 44 plus 4.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. But the minimum is almost how much you're missing. So just drink it, consume it. You're good.
Yeah, minimum's
Alright.
9. So
Rena's like, can I share that? Can you just like spit a little in my mouth?
All right.
Why
So
would
I'm
you
fully
say
healed.
that?
I'll take that.
Rena, there's
and
some left, but there's some backwash in it. Do you still want it?
I'm gonna go in there and
Part.
say, I'm just gonna say, his last words to his friends will just be, "Remember, there's more to life."
Hey, I'll tell you that one.
Yep.
Alright, see you in a little bit, Ophios, too. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
And he's gonna crawl into the container and give Kroll the thumbs up, and kind of sit in the bottom and go into a meditative state.
I'm going to allow one thing to take place right now. Just one thing, so there's no suspense about this one aspect. The rest of it, however, I'm going to leave suspense on. Tyler, I'm going to allow you to make one saving throw right now. Just one. The rest of it we'll worry about later on. Okay?
Yep.
And I will tell you, Joey just gave you both a Winifred's Wisdom and a Twitch Chat Pool of Luck.
Let's do that.
So you're going to do one check right now that you
Use a
can
wisdom.
use both those for. Okay? Winifred's Wisdom gives you advantage, and then you have a luck if you want to use it.
Yep.
This is an intelligence save. We'll worry about the rest of the details later.
Are you
It's
wearing your
fucking
headband
2:06
still?
a.m. No. This
Okay, so
So I
headband
have
is
to
gone.
take my headband off.
Yeah, you took your headband off.
You did take your headband off, but correct me if I'm wrong, in 5e, because you're bound to it, just because you took it off for a minute doesn't mean it stops working. Like, you're attuned to it, it's still across the room. Otherwise, like, you become really stupid when you take a while you're showering. Right? It's still bond. And you took it off like 5 minutes ago, so I would say it still applies, to be clear. Okay?
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, if there's any other ruling on this. But otherwise, like, if you put on an item that you have to bound to and wear for at least 24 hours, it's first minute you took it off, it stops fucking working. That seems stupid. So,
I need to find a background for this.
Winifred's Wisdom gives you an advantage, and there is one luck in the pool, for you to use if you want to, sir. Are
Why is my
you
headband
ready?
of intellect not active anymore?
Yeah, of course it's active.
There,
That's why you're
Sets
wicked
your
smart.
int to
Dude, your
8,
intelligence is like a fucking 8.
All right. Advantage.
character's
saving
a
throw
moron.
Intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
19.
Oh, that's scary.
Look.
That's when you see that shit right there.
It's a 20.
Flat 20.
Oh my God.
I saw the 5 already there, and I was sitting there like, "Oh my god, are you kidding
I didn't see
me
the
right
five. I
now?"
saw the 1. I was staring at the yellow. Like I was saying that. I was like,
Yeah.
like that is the bad one. What's the good one? 2? Like, oh god.
Congratulations.
I got a 20.
Okay. Chat, I have 2 things to tell you. 1, we're now ending the stream. I'm going to find somebody to raid as we're doing our outros. Okay? I am not going to be in Massachusetts at the beginning of next week, so we are not playing on Monday night, but I will be playing Wednesday morning, and I will be playing Wednesday evening in Lost Initiative. Wednesday morning will again be a starting earlier, ending earlier session, but the week after that should actually be like a nice long one. Assume the PCs are all up for it. They haven't answered yet. Should be a nice long one. That being said, the other thing I want to tell you is this. Tyler will not be with us for the next several weeks.
It's possible I will be, but very likely I might not.
Tyler will not be with us the next several weeks, but the campaign will go on. He's going to be in this chamber for a while. The PCs can't just sit around and wait for him. They have shit they got to get done. Messi has a whole story arc he has to do in Oslo. Before, and he does not need Ophios there looking for his fucking mother. Like, oh, he's going to be, how long is he baking for? That sounds like I have enough time to head out and handle a couple of, right? Like, you know what you're talking about. He's in the crock pot. you got shit to do today.
What the hell is Oslo?
The capital.
It's your hometown.
Yeah.
The capital city's Oslo?
Oslo or Osto? I always forget. Anyways.
Oh, I think it's
Osto.
Osto. Yeah,
oh, it's Osto. Sorry,
okay.
Osto.
Yeah, I got confused. I thought that was something else.
Either way, so you do not want a fucking loper murderer designed to hunt down and kill going for that, especially after some crazy upgrade that they might have that might ruin them in every way. So yeah, let's not do that. So he's going to go do that arc while he's baking in the oven, while he's sitting in the crock pot. And Rena, you set that to 10 hours, right? Like you try to cook something in the crock pot in 4 hours, it ruins it, right?
I mean, it depends on what you're cooking.
Pulled pork.
You got to do.
I've never cooked snake before.
Nice. And it's funny. You live in Arizona. If you said I have eaten snake, I would not be surprised. So
I haven't
That's just
actually.
regionist.
Oh, no, it's I imagine local cuisine. Anyway, so cool. Those are the two important things. We're not playing on Monday. We will be back on Wednesday. And Tyler will not be here for the next few weeks. He is taking care of something really important. He had his tonsils removed recently. You guys know that it went very well. He's recovering very well. Thank goodness. He figured since his tonsil removal went well, he wants to see what else he can get removed from his body. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, let's see what else we can get out of here just for fun. So he's going to be heading back into the hospital. Yep. And seeing what it's like the game of Operation, like butterflies in the stomach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's taking out his funny bone.
Yeah, he's got writer's wrist. You know what I mean? All that fun stuff happening. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The hair is staying.
The hair is definitely staying. If it was going, he wouldn't go to a hospital that he could go to. I don't know, Supercuts. But either way, that's fine.
The doctor, he wanted to get rid of it, but the doctor said he wouldn't touch it. It's too perfect.
No. The truth is Tyler's starting his porn career. He just didn't want us to tell anybody. So sorry, Tyler's dad, but it's true. Your son.
That's too far. That's just too far.
What? No, what?
Ooh, okay,
no.
who are we rating?
No, what? No. Well, listen, he's gonna be rating quite a few people. Did you hear the name of the first title?
This was a cool session, you guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Follow Messy. Follow Tyler.
No, that
you
just
follow me if you want. Follow Scott, I guess. No,
follow me.
rating. Don't follow Scott. Unfollow Scott.
We're actually gonna be rating a friend of Tyler and Rena's. The reason why I know Rena, is actually who we're gonna be rating.
I know who you're rating.
Anybody else? Anybody else want to say anything else?
Yeah, I'm not going to be having another surgery, for the record. I will actually be down in Austin at a production for a really cool thing that some of you might know about. So that's all I can really say.
Spider-Man 3?
But I'm going to be doing that, and I might be on set, and that is why I'll probably be missing this for some time. But I'll be around. I might stream on days where I can and stuff like that, but we'll figure that out as things go on. So appreciate you all.
Goodbye, everybody. We all appreciate you. Come say hi to Adriosa. What's our rating message? Ooh, what's the rating message? Joey, what's the rating message? Never mind. We're not doing that rating message. We're not
snake.
No, that is not what what the fuck they're going to say. I fucking hate them. I hate them all.
Scooter Squad!
Scooter Squad!
Hey guys, scoot on over to Adriosa's chat and we will see you next time.
Bye.